Hey ghosts, I'm Chris from Ghost in the Sphere, a channel dedicated to Eastern philosophy and spiritual self-sufficiency. Today's topic are the 8 limbs of yoga. The 8 limbs as they can be found in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And these 8 limbs offer a roadmap for rediscovering the self, for uniting with yourself, with your true self. And these 8 limbs also offer a blueprint for personal growth. To give you a short roadmap, in the first part I'll paint the picture of the 8 limbs as a whole. Then I explain short the individual single limbs, and the third part is an answer to the question, how can I practice with the 8 limbs? How can I incorporate more fully those 8 limbs of yoga? So, what are the 8 limbs? The answer can be found in the second book of the Yoga Sutras, in the 29th verse. And there they are listed, and the 8 limbs are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Or to be precise, a bunch of samadhis. Together, they constitute the wheel of yoga. And the picture of the wheel serves as a model, as a symbol for how those 8 limbs interact, work together. And to paint this picture, imagine a wheel, a wooden old-fashioned wheel, and there are 6 spokes, evenly long, connecting the wheel to the center of the wheel. The center of the wheel is the 7th limb. And then there is this empty space for the axle. Practically, there is a void in the center of the center, or in the hub, to use another word. And that's the 8th limb. That's Samadhi. Or, if you prefer a Buddhist term, that's Shunyata, the void. So, we have our wheel. We have the outer rim. We have 6 spokes, which are the first 6 limbs. We have the 7th being the center, and we have the empty space reserved for the axle, which is the 8th and final limb, Samadhi. Now, let's dive into the individual limbs. The first limb is called Yama and can be defined as attitude towards our environment. The Yamas consist in the Yoga Sutras of 5 elements. You have ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truthfulness, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, continence, and aparigraha, non-greed. Those are the attitudes towards the environment. The second limb are the niyamas, the attitude towards ourself. And those consists of socha, which is purity, cleanliness, santosha, contentment, and then tapasya, removal of impurities, purifying yourself mentally and bodily. Svadhyaya, studies of spiritual scripts for self-enhancement, you can say. And Ishvara Pranidhana, which means self-surrender to some form of, however you name it, imagine it, call it, work with it, higher being. Those are the niyamas. The third limb are the asanas. Well known, because most people associate yoga with asana practice. The fourth is pranayama, which is working with your prana, and you do this by working with your breath. Fifth limb is pratyahara, which means a withdrawal of the senses. The sixth is dharana, which is a concentration practice, and there are endlessly ways of practicing dharana. And then we enter the state of meditation with dhyana, and the state of union of yoga with the diverse samadhis. There are several named in the Yoga Sutras, and the highest is the nirbija, the samadhi without seeds, as explained at the end of the first book, first pada of the Yoga Sutras. There's a way to categorize, to organize the limbs. The first four limbs plus the sixth are the outer or more exterior limbs. And then there are the three inner limbs, the fifth, seventh, and eighth. And the reason to divide inner and outer, exterior and interior is simply the exterior ones you can influence more, the interior, the inner limbs happen. You cannot really influence them. To a degree, you can prepare the ground, but then they have to happen. The limbs, the 8 limbs, the wheel of yoga reflects the principal heart of yoga, which consists of practice and non-attachment, or to use the Sanskrit terms of sthira and sukha. The outer limbs are practice. You can work them, you have to work them. The inner limbs are non-attachment. You can want them as much as you want. They happen or they happen not. You have no influence. Letting go. How to practice those 8 limbs? How to incorporate those limbs more fully into your practice, into your daily life? The general method is work the outer limbs and let the inner happen. And the picture of the wheel suggests an important fact. A wheel does not run very smooth if the spokes are not even. If one spoke is developed to a very high degree, let's say you have an impressive asana practice, but don't care about Dharana or your Niyamas, you will have quite bumpy ride. On the other hand, if spokes are missing, etc., it won't work either. So work simultaneously and step by step on all wheels, on all of the exterior wheels. The Yamas, the Niyamas, Asana, Pranayama and Dharana. You can work those 5. How? By practice and non-attachment, as can be found in the first book, Sutra 12, 13, 14 and 15. Practice means, and to repeat it again, practice means for a long time, without break, in all earnestness. And then practice becomes firm and grounded. To sum up the method of how to incorporate the 8 limbs more fully, imagine the following picture. You are a farmer and you need a new field. What do you have to do? First of all, you have to remove all the rough stuff on your field. There are trees, bushes, and all sort of things that don't belong there. You have to cut down the trees, cut down the bushes, bring it all up away. This is more or less what you do if you start practicing the Yamas and the Niyamas. Your attitudes towards the environment shift, towards non-violence, towards truthfulness, etc. And your attitudes towards yourself shift too, because you study the scriptures, you study the path of yoga, you practice tapasya happening, and by practicing this shift of attitudes, the bigger obstacles are removed. Then there are some stones lying around. You have to pull them out, throw them away. And that's a lot of work. Big stones, much work. Like your asana practice. Your body has to be prepared to be able to sit for extended periods of time in a more or less comfortable state. Think of lotus seat, think of all the other options. You need flexible but strong body. Then the ground is not even. So in some parts you have to remove some soil, in other parts you have to fill up the soil to balance it out and make a nice and even field. Same thing you do in your pranayama practice. You try to even and balance out your prana. Well, first of all, you start to feel your prana in your body. Then you start to manipulate it by practicing with your breath. And step by step, you are reorganizing your energy system, making it stronger, so that stronger currents, more charge can flow through your body. Then plowing and seeding, plowing and sowing, that's the right words, need to be done. Your Dharana practice is practice of concentration. And there's a lot of practice to do. Concentrating isn't easy. just like plowing. But after that, the soil is prepared, the seeds are ready to be sown. You have sown, and now you have to wait. Rain needs to come, the seeds have to sprout, and then the plants have to grow. Just like the senses have to draw, to withdraw, and the state of meditation has to happen. Like Pratyahara and Dhyana. And then you move towards Samadhi. To close this picture, then you reap what you've sown. If you like this video about the 8 limbs of yoga, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Leave your questions, associations down below. And until next time, happy practice. Bye.